Sometimes silence reveals what noise hides. When you're alone and the world is quiet, something begins to stir. A tension in the chest, a rising discomfort. The thing is that it is not random. It is truth trying to surface itself. Something that you've buried under routine, distraction, or maybe even delay. But instead of letting it rise, you continue to push it down. Not consciously sometimes, but rather habitually. Like as if you were blinking at a bright light, or maybe small repeated gestures, repression without self-reflection. You begin to have that drift, that staring at wall type of feeling, not toward peace, but rather toward detachment. The mind, fearing pain, denies reality, and in doing so, it forgets its own shape. The moment that it's not just emotional, it is rather ontological. The shape, what kind of being you're becoming, is becoming through truth that appears, and rather you keep projecting it. Over time, that choice defines you more than any belief that you claim. As a researcher, though, as a traveler, as a teacher, as someone that has seen much of the world and the people in it, I can see this constantly as a theme that I keep coming across again and again and again. And the thing is this, I need you to stay with me because this isn't just some type of self-help. This is a precise philosophy that is being discussed on this channel based on liberation to set free the self from suffering to gain power in one's human condition. You are living a reality that you keep suppressing for fear that if you acknowledge what's really happening, you wouldn't be able to bear it. And it's not about why life hurts. We know that life is difficult. We know that life hurts. But it's rather what you are becoming while you try to avoid it. Because the longer you avoid it, the further you descend. And the further that you descend, the more that you realize that you are completely lost. Your personal freedom is no longer a factor, but rather you have just become a shell or a carcass that follows blindly the orders of dictates of some higher power in a complex system that you can't even see or speak to. And let me reiterate again, this is not self-help. It is a doctrine of liberation against sedation, a philosophy that treats reality as a furnace that can either refine us or reduce us to ash depending on whether or not we meet it awake. One must never forget, though, that this world was never built for us for comfortability. This is not about comfort. It is rather an instructional manual to navigate the turmoils and deceit, the hardship, and the noise that numbs us. Now, the new construction of life that we are experiencing now for the very many is solely based on numbness and comfort. This radicalized comfort that makes you soft without you even noticing it, wraps you in a blanket that holds you quietly, sedates you, and steals your urgency. It teaches you to delay your life for tomorrow or next week or maybe even next year. It teaches you again and again and again to never awake, to never realize that time does not wait for your readiness. All it has been wasted. Now, only regret will remain supreme if you continue on this type of conformity. Only a limited understanding, again and again and again, calls this world imperfect, but without asking, what is it perfect for? Only a limited understanding believes that the purpose of life is to feel as good as often as possible, as if sensation were the highest good and not merely a signal. This era has been engineered for pleasure, infinite distraction, instant gratification, convenience, lied packaged as wellness. A society addicted to ease will become easy to govern, easy to deceive, easy to herd, because anything that asks for courage will feel extreme. Anything that demands sacrifice will feel impossible. And the self, it is consciously converted into a metric. It's where desire is engineered into consumption, where attention is harvested like a crop, and our meaning is outsourced and feeds refresh infinitely and resolve into nothing. Our metaphysics cannot tolerate a cosmos that refuses to flatter us, a reality that does not guarantee comfort, a history that does not apologize, a nature that does not negotiate. Instead, it instructs, it tests, and it strips away the stories that we tell ourselves times of plenty, and it reveals how the thin architecture of our certainty really is. How quickly the modern subject, armed with screens and convenience, becomes a childlike when the power goes out. Your freedom is beginning to lose light. When will you decide to reignite your common truth? The truth that must finally be understood before it's too late. Lure yourself away from the herd before it's too late.